have such sights to show you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Four Dead Losers podcast. We're three of the Four Dead Losers. I'm Ramiro.
Adam.
Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about Obsession. Ooh, spooky. Adam, this was not your pick. What'd you think of
This is not my pick. This episode is probably coming really late comparatively speaking to others. We had a little bit of a leapfrog where we watched this movie and we just would have reviewed already and been out for now 2 weeks. The Back Rooms.
Right.
And so coming now off of, I guess it's almost like a month since this movie been out now?
I think it came out on the 15th of May, something like that.
It did.
And
yes.
it's still making more money than its opening
Yes,
weekend.
yeah, yep. I thought this movie was just really good. I think it knocked all expectations out of the park. It was original. It was different. It had a little bit of everything. I thought that for how ground level it was in terms of budget, in terms of not very many known actors, things of that nature, and a young but somewhat experienced director, maybe not for feature films, but for doing shorts and things like that on different different platforms. I thought this movie was fantastic. I think in retrospect now, being able to see, even though you shouldn't comparatively speaking to the Back Rooms, just because of when they dropped, some comparisons on directors, things like that. And we're still talking about it now, comparatively speaking to some other horror movies that have come out this year. I think definitely states the gravity of how good this movie was. If I had to give it a rating, now being a month removed, I would honestly give it 9 out of 10. I definitely think it was really, really solid. Definitely, there's cliff notes. I'm sure we can adjust some things or do some different things, but overall, I thought that it was really well done.
Awesome. Jordan, non-spoiler thoughts. What did you think of the movie?
Yeah, I thought it was, I think we're all going to agree on this one. I thought it was pretty incredible. Just some things to point out. It's already the highest grossing horror film of the year. It's past Weapons. It's probably going to pass Sinners, which is an absolutely incredible feat. The fact that it's been had this much longevity, it's clear that audiences resonated with it to a certain extent. This director is also doing the A24 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Yes.
Which I'm kind of interested to see how that'll translate. But
is he going A24 for that one?
I think it's A24.
Because what this was a different company.
I think this was Focus feature or something.
So. Yeah, Focus. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's A24. Yeah, it was an absolutely incredible movie. It was a great performance. I think from basically all the 4 people in the main cast. Really, it focuses on Bear and Nikki the whole time. But yeah, they gave absolutely stellar performances. Yeah, really, really good. It makes me... Okay, so we're going to get there. This is a movie, sometimes I struggle with scoring it. This one, I feel like the score is pretty obvious to me. Just because I tend to score high anyway. This one genuinely makes me... And I hate saying this because I was really far in the hype when it came out. But I know Adam wasn't here. I gave Undertone a 10 when it came out. And I feel like giving this movie the same score doesn't do enough justice. Because I feel like it is significantly above that. In terms of tier, this probably stands with some of the best and most enjoyable horror movies I've seen, at least lately. It's an easy 10 out of 10 to me. But yeah, absolutely incredible movie. Probably will end up being my favorite of the year. I know there's still time though, but yeah.
There's still Evil Dead Burn.
That is true. I'm really excited for that one.
And
but
Pinocchio.
Yeah. And Pinocchio. But yeah, it's a pretty big standout. And I felt the same way. It already is making more per day than Backrooms is. And I felt the same way coming out of Backrooms. It definitely affected my feelings of that because they were so close together that all I could do was Backrooms was great to me, but in comparison to the feeling I got watching Obsession, there's no comparison. So yeah, this is an 11, but for sake of our scoring, it'll be a 10 out of 10 for me.
11 out of 10.
10. Not better than Nosferatu, but it's okay.
Yes.
Probably better than Sinners, but no.
Non-spoiler thoughts for myself. I don't know if this is considered a hot take. I can definitely see why people like it. So I think for me, this is one of those. What do they say? It's like good for thee, but not for me.
Oh,
Something
yeah,
like
me
that.
with long legs. yeah.
Yeah, so I saw this movie twice. The first time I saw it, I was like, okay, that was whatever. And the second time I saw it, I had the same feeling. I definitely understand everything that's going on, especially from like, I guess a woman's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did more research on that end because I don't identify as female, so I tried to see what female content creators were saying about the space, or I guess this movie. This is one of those cases where I have to split it between objective and subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Subjectively, for me, this movie is probably like a 6 out of 10. Objectively, this is like a 9.5 out of 10. Like it's really good. But yeah, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the spoiler section of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We'd really appreciate it. If you haven't seen Obsession yet, chances are it's still going to be in theaters.
It comes out in digital, I think, on the 25th. But yeah, it's going to be in theaters for a while.
Yeah,
so.
I think the theater experience is also really good.
Yeah, I think part of it too is, and the reason why I think people need to like really like appreciate it, but also like its undeniability of like how good it was the sheer fact that it's getting the Terrifier 3 treatment, or was it 2? No, 2. The Terrifier 2 treatment, but because it's more palatable to a wider audience, that's why it's seeing such a huge spike. Because I'm seeing the same comparisons, right? The small budget but huge, whatever, and then comparing these actors only got paid this much, they deserve more, and it's like, well, you got to negotiate that in the royalties, you know what I'm saying? But
so for context about what Adam's saying, he's talking about how Terrifier 2 was only supposed to be out for I think one weekend, but it did so well they brought it back and they kept bringing it back.
And then 3 was in theaters for a while.
It did really good.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the reason I bring that up, because like I think, and I will state too, if you aren't in the know of like the news about it, the other reason was because I think everybody knew that the release window was way too short. Like, it wasn't even a full month. It was only supposed to be like a few weeks, and then they were going to release it on digital, so that's why they were going to pull it from theaters. But it got such a huge following, and everybody's like, no, you got to see this in theaters. It's a really good movie. They're kind of dumb to lose out on that money, and then they're like, actually, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So then they just kept it in theaters. Which is great. It just stinks that it's always in smaller theaters because of movies like Mandalorian and some of these other ones that took up bigger space.
Yeah, which is funny.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
So this is going to be your spoiler warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ba-bam. Cue Justin saying, everybody died.
What was the budget on this? Was it less than $1 million?
I think it was
$750?
Something, yeah.
So
that sounds about right. That sounds
it's sitting at almost $300 million now, bro. I'm pretty sure, or 200.
I know it made...
It's pretty high.
It was under $1 million for sure, and then maybe it was 650, but yeah, 650, 750. It was like very Terrifier 2 like thing where it was like this much budget, and then
and people thought Backrooms was gonna squash it. So the fact that it
and that's the thing, I think, and I hate to compare it, but like I think people realize because it had such a big following prior, and this is an original idea, right? Like this is a I can't say original idea, but like an original storyline versus something that Kane Parsons has built over the course of YouTube. But it's his universe, so you know what I mean? It's not like he's banking on other people's things, but other people help expand on what he created. So
so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the discussion. So the movie basically opens up. So we're going to have 4 main characters, right? We're going to have Bear, who's our main guy. Nikki, who's going to be the crush. Ian, who's going to be Bear's... It's a group of 4. Yeah. So Ian and then Sarah? Is that the other person's name?
The amount of time each of them are actually on screen.
Which I don't think there's any scene, at least from what I can recall, without Bear or Nikki in it. Like, I don't think the side characters ever have any moments without those two main characters on screen.
Yeah, it's always one of them.
It's like I know you'll love this comparison. It's like Drag Me to Hell. How what's her face is in every single thing. Because we never see... I don't think we ever see Bear not in camera.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's always there.
Well, outside of like
the sleeping.
But outside of like he just left, but like this is just what's happening as he's leaving, but it's the same scene. It's like the same.
But I don't think the other characters get any dialogue outside of like talking directly to the main characters.
So we open up, and Bear is practicing his love speech to a waitress, right? At first, we don't get that context, but he's basically like laying it all out on the line, right? Like, oh, I really like you, XYZ, since I moved here. You've always been nice to me, and all these other good things. And so it basically comes to a conclusion, and the waitress is like, oh, how sweet, XYZ. And Ian, he's like, bro, you can't say that. That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like these two characters don't give a freak about women. And I think this opening scene sets it up perfectly because she's there, the waitress who's on the clock, by the way.
Yeah.
Is listening to this speech and is about to give them feedback, and Ian's like, no, don't do that. No, it's okay.
Basically brushing her off.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. He's like, you can go back to work now. And then what does he tell Bear after that? He's like, no, dude, you got to be like mean. You got to be like flirty mean to her. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking
Which
about?
you also learn that Ian has like a conflict of interest later on.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
adds like another depth to it. Yeah, he's very like, yeah, women like that. Like,
Yeah,
basically.
women like when you're mean to them. Call her Freaky Nikki. And Bear, what does he say? He goes, well, she hates that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So then from here, Bear tells Ian, he's like, I'm going to ask her out during trivia night or something like that. And then Ian immediately is like, no, don't do that. You can't do that.
He's like, that's lame.
Yeah, he's like, that's like, what does he say? He goes, trivia night is what I live for. I don't care about any of the other days of the week. It's just Wednesday's trivia.
Basically, like, yeah, bro, that's our night. Like, what are you doing? Which, this is also interesting just because you pointed it out. It's clear that, like, Bear is very, very desperate and kind of, like, seems introverted or to himself. Like, he's definitely being contaminated a little bit by Ian, like, taking this shitty advice and falling for it. Because he views Ian as, like, this player type or, like, he knows better.
I thought more that it was just their friendship.
Or, right. But it's also hard, and I saw this today when I was watching a review by a female content creator, funny enough, talking about, like, especially as we get towards the end of the movie, it's kind of hard to feel bad for Bear. Like, he's kind of, for lack of a better term, like a loser character.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really, like, everything that happens is because of his own, like, decisions and his own lack of respect for women or whatever it may be. So, like, he's a very desperate character, but not in, like, I don't know, I feel neutral on him. I wouldn't say he's likable. Like, he's not somebody that you necessarily want to see come out.
I think it plays up to that thought, right? Like, because the idea of the movie, I think going into it is he makes a poor wish, right? Which we'll find out later. But the idea that, like, we're going to find, like, you know, how is he going to get out of this situation? Because going into the movie, you know what it's going to be. And so this is just kind of setting it up, but without, I guess, later context. You just assume that he's the protagonist that we're going to feel for, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, he's, like, the desperate guy who fucks up other people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, like, not careful about what he's doing, I guess.
Yes. He's very,
And this scene, like, sets the tone for that.
Yeah. So then after this scene goes ahead and ends. Oh, the other thing that Ian says is that Bear has to ask her out at the right time, and that you have to wait for the right time because you have nothing but time.
Yes.
Which is something that kind of comes into play in a little bit. Then we cut, and we are at Bear's house, and we get a scene of a trigger warning, dead cat on the ground.
Yeah.
There is a bottle of pills. I didn't catch the full name, but it's Oxy something. And the cat ingested them.
Oxycodone?
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines.
I don't know if it's Oxycontin, Oxycodone, or
Oxycontin, yeah, might be.
A hard drug for sure.
Yeah. And so he goes ahead and he starts cleaning up the mess, right, as he's crying, and he puts this cat in a trash bag. And I was like, what the freak, dude? I thought that was crazy. I don't know what the proper protocol is. So for context, I have 2 dogs downstairs. If I found one of them gone, I don't think I'd put her in a trash bag.
I don't know if that's allowed to do.
Realistically, the cat's like this big and your dog is like this big.
Dog is not this big.
But I would bury a cat. I don't know. Maybe he's renting the house. I don't know.
Maybe he's renting the house.
No, he doesn't rent the house. He inherited it from his grandma.
He did inherit it from his grandma.
I don't know. I feel like you gotta bury it or something. But I feel like it plays into, like, yeah, who the fuck? I don't know. It's kind of sad.
So he goes ahead. He's crying. He's crying in his bedroom. And
fetal position and all.
in the fetal
right?
position and all. But before we do that, we get a shot of a what do they call it? Like photos from a photo booth.
Uh-huh.
And the first one is of him and Nikki in the photo booth, and she is not into it at all. The second one, Ian comes into the photo booth, and Nikki is more than glad to see him in there. And then the third one, Sarah jumps in, and all four of them are like smiling at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was very telling, and I didn't catch that the first.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either. That is very telling.
Mm-hmm. He receives a phone call from Nikki, basically saying like, "Hey, you know, are you gonna come to trivia night?" And Bear's like, "No, I can't. I have stuff to do." And she's like, "What kind of stuff?"
I think you did forget there was a fourth photo.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Which one?
Mm-hmm. There was a theory on this too. It's of if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but like if I remember correctly, the theory was the fourth panel shows how each of them get like taken out almost, and so like they have her pushing. Was it Sarah's? Yeah, Sarah's head is like down, like Nikki's like pushing it down. Ian, I think, has like his eyes crossed out, or like for what happens later.
Yeah.
And then something else. I forgot what Bear's was, but yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't. It's a theory. I have to look it up, but there was a theory on that was basically him doing the A24. Ooh, giving away the movie.
Except it wasn't A24.
It wasn't. That's why he sent it up. That's why they gave him the contract.
True.
But yeah, and then Nikki.
Phone call with Nikki. Hey, are you going to trivia night? No, I have stuff. What kind of stuff? You know, stuff. And what did she say? She goes, "Oh, I need your brain there." Or something
Which it's
like
clear that Nikki cares for Bear. Like they have
Right.
like a brother-sister relationship, which in Bear's case is like the worst thing possible.
And we'll find out. We'll find out in a little bit too that Nikki is just a caring person. That's just who she is,
Yeah.
right? And so in this conversation, he can't bring himself to say that he doesn't want to go to trivia night because he found Sandy dead. Sandy's the cat. But Nikki then says that she's about to put in her 2 weeks for the job. All four of them work at Sarah's dad's music store.
But it's like one of those little ass, like, you know, corner music stores.
It's kind of one of those places where I'm like, why do you need 5 people there at once? Like,
Yeah.
I think you're fine with 2 employees.
Nobody
and
even goes
manager.
in there, bro.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? Anyways, that she's gonna go ahead and put in her 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and that they don't have a whole lot of time left with each other, right? So this is contradicting what Ian said in the scene before.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, whatever, cool, and then she drops her crystal. This entire phone call, we only have Bear in screen. Nikki's on the phone. Then we get her, she drops her crystal necklace down the sink, and she's like, oh no, I dropped my crystal necklace down the sink, XYZ. Okay, cool. And then we cut to Bear at the store, and it's one of those, like, I don't subscribe to this ideology. If you do, I'm happy for you. But it's one of those crystal pseudoscience kind of places.
Right, like you go, and I feel like Bear had this same thing, obviously, and it plays into the whole like plot of the movie. It gives like, yeah, none of this shit actually works. Like, no offense to people that believe in that, but obviously, like, I'm assuming, like, even the main characters expect for it not to work. It's like, oh yeah, anything in here that says it does X, Y, Z, like, yeah, it's not gonna do that.
So he talks to the worker, right, and she's currently on the phone at work, which is like, okay, whatever. And she leads him to where the crystals are, and they basically like, ooh, what is this, XYZ, until he sees the One Wish Willow.
Then he forgets about the crystals entirely.
Yeah.
Forgets about the crystals entirely. One Wish Willow display, he goes over to it, and he goes ahead, and he, as he's checking out to buy it, what does the employee say? She says, like, I think he asks if it works or something like that, and she's like, oh yeah, it does. We have people come in here and like complain about their wishes or
And he's
something.
like, why would they complain? And she's just like, and she's on the phone too, right? She
Yeah.
like has like he's like honestly bothering her more than it is, which I think this also plays into, like, again, for say what you will about like the whole, like, all the dynamics, right? This is just like one of those other, like, plays into the fact that, like, Bear sometimes is kind of a punching bag. Like, this lady's on the phone having her, like, she really does not care for, like, hey, you just buy your stuff and go, like, which is like, dude, I'm a customer, like, but like that's how, like, that just lends to the fact that this dude feels like he just gets, like, walked all over about
basically nobody cares about him. Like, he's just a background character in the world, which the director did like focus on mostly comedy skits, right? Before this.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like there's multiple points in this movie when like even though the movie's very serious, there's like really funny parts like this where like you almost feel bad for the guy, but also like bruh, like he's treating him however.
We then cut to Barker's Tavern. Did you catch that?
I didn't. I'm pretty sure the director's on the phone later too.
He is. Yes. He's the one. He's the customer service person.
Hey man.
He got to get more royalties, bro. This place is named after me. No, but I didn't catch the tavern name.
Also on the box they showcase it's like a cat. Like what is it, Siamese or what is it? It's it's like a cat. The type of cat. It's whatever cat that Sandy was. It's that cat. Tabby. It was Tabby. I think it was a Tabby. It's like Tabby Company or something. It has a cat on it. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. And so they arrive at trivia night, and Ian and they're at a table for 4 people. Sarah and Nikki are conversing, and then Ian and Bear are basically like having a mouth conversation, right, where they're not saying anything; they're just mouthing the words. Eventually, that comes to a close, and Nikki goes to the bar to order drinks, and then Bear goes with her. Mm-hmm. And so while they're going ahead and talking again, we get very clear Barker's Tavern.
Yeah.
Come on.
I need to rewatch it.
It's okay. Here, they basically... We get another glimpse of like how Nikki is just nice to everybody, right? Because she calls the bartender babe, and that's like she's just being friendly, and it's very typical, or I think it is very typical for men in these more, I guess, desperate states of mind to see women's kindness as flirtation.
100%, yeah. 100%.
And I think that's what this is supposed to go ahead and show.
Right, which I don't know if I'm, like, we're just more aware, but I feel like from an outsider, you can kind of pick up on, like, yeah, she doesn't care for him that way. Like, it's clear there's no affection, but I think he's, like, reading into it as...
Yeah, something's going on.
But she cares about me, so she must have feelings for me, basically.
Right. So they go ahead, get the drinks, and then Ian comes and crashes the party, and they all get their little shots.
Is Sarah with him at this point?
She comes in, like, 2 seconds after.
Because this is a scene that I noticed that, like... Which we touch more on later, that Sarah's, like, really touchy with Bear, and it just plays into the part of, like, he feels like nobody in the world cares about him, but he has, like, this person that clearly has feelings for him right in front of him, but he doesn't want that, so it's like...
He doesn't want Sarah, he wants Nikki.
Yeah.
So they go ahead and they do a toast, right? Or whatever, to Sandy, or they all like, what do we toast to? And then Bear's like to Sandy, and so then they all drink. Nikki and Ian immediately leave right after that, and Sarah goes, well, why are we toasting to Sandy? And he says, well, because I found Sandy dead. And then they hug, and then we cut to them leaving the bar. So here is another part where we get Nikki just being a really caring person because she asks somebody for like $20, I think.
Yeah, how's she nice? She took somebody else's money and gave it to him. Where's her money?
The whole $20.
They all work the same job, man. Like what? And she's like, let me get your money.
She's like Robin Hood, bro.
She says she'll pay Sarah back, and then she goes and she gives it to a houseless person.
Which, yeah, I guess if you feel bad for anybody, it's for Nikki, like throughout the movie.
Yes, she's the one person you're supposed to feel bad for.
She's the one good. No, she's not the only good character. I feel like her and Sarah both are portrayed like as caring people, and it's clear that like Bear and Ian don't really give a fuck about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bear basically offers to give Nikki a ride. They're done for the day, and Ian and Sarah are gonna go bar hopping or something like that, right? While they're leaving, Ian tells Bear to get your girl home safe, and Nikki immediately responds with, "Oh, ew, don't say it like that." So I was like, okay, just another like just beating this guy down. Yeah. So they're in the car, driving home, or I guess driving to Nikki's house first, and they talk about Sandy for a little bit, and it's the whole like, why didn't you bring her up, XYZ, which I don't think he really answers, right?
Yeah, it didn't really answer.
And then they start talking about Nikki quitting.
Yeah, she's gonna quit.
How she's gonna... Oh, actually, do they talk about Sarah before this?
Yeah, I think
'Cause-
she mentioned something about Sarah, like kind of giving him the hint of like, what do you think of Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's dropping hints of like, he's trying to drop like, oh, you know, I kind of have feelings for someone, and then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, what do you think about Sarah? And she's like, yeah, she's okay.
Yeah. What does Nikki say? Nikki says, when I like a boy, nobody ever knows, or something like that, which my first go around when I first watched the movie, I thought that this was Nikki telling Bear that she liked him. And then I did, some research and watching women content creators about this movie, and then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh no, she does not like this man at all. Like she likes him as a friend, and that's it.
Right.
She has no romantic feelings for him.
He definitely read that comment as like,
Yeah.
oh shit, then it could be me.
That's what so the first time I saw it, that was my mindset, and then it changed afterwards. They arrive home to where Bear basically can't bring himself to ask Nikki out, right? She gets out of the car and I think they're conversing through the window, and she just drops like do you like me? And he's like, no, I think we're good friends. And she's like, good
No,
night.
I thought it was before. Did the freaky Nikki comment was on that before this?
I think it's
it might
walking
have
in the
been.
door.
Yes, it was before this. Yeah,
that's what brings her back.
Yeah, so it brings her back. Yeah, because he's like, she walks away and he's like, well, see you later there, freaky Nikki. And she's like,
I shouldn't laugh.
What? Did you call me? And he's just like,
And she's even like, I don't like that. Like she's being so serious in this moment.
And he's like, I'm just kidding. Like, oh man.
And then it's the do you like me question. I think we're good friends. Good night. And then she walks away. He then reaches for the one wish willow.
Okay, didn't she ask him about the gift or no? Because he had mentioned he
it's
had
after
something
the
for her.
wish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He does, on the car ride home, he does mention that he has a gift for her.
Yeah.
But she asks about it after the wish.
Yeah.
Which is what we get right now. She's about to leave, and then he goes ahead, or she's leaving, and he says, I wish Nikki Freeman, I think.
Yeah.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anybody else in the fucking world. And then
Terrible wording. Absolutely terrible wording. This is when the spooky begins.
Yeah, he could have asked for, hey, I wish I had the courage to ask Nikki out. But nope, he didn't.
I wish I could be a respectable young man.
Yeah, because that's like the other part about Bear's character is that he doesn't see anything wrong with him.
Yeah.
It's everybody else that's the problem.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything political. There's a lot of people like this in the world. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I think, definitely the wording was bad, and this goes into the whole, like, the trope, one of the first big tropes, right, of, like, there's, when you do wishes, there's certain rules and certain things you shouldn't wish for, because they just have, no matter what, they just don't work out well. That just goes off the genie rules, right? You can't wish for more wishes, you can't bring people back from the dead, and you can't make anybody fall in love with you. So he basically breaks the third one.
And anytime you make a wish, it always ends up bad. I'm sorry. Even in like genie movies, like there's always a catch. It's never like scot free.
And that's this is where like this movie, as we divulge, and I'll probably bring it up at the end, it just like reminds me of like almost like a Twilight Zone episode, because it like
a lot of
has
people are saying that.
Yeah, because there's two ways that it goes. You either have the protagonist learns from their ways and like is able to like evolve, or what we're gonna find out the rest of the movie is it plays onto their basically their bad intentions and their like just bad characteristics. So like if you have bad characteristics, you're not able to grow from it, then you're gonna like basically be doomed to fail essentially.
So after that wish, we get a shot of her standing, and she's
like
not
black,
illuminated
right?
at all,
Yeah,
right? It's just
just
like pitch black. And it's like,
And then she
and I think is it shot through the car window?
I think so. Because the porch light's on behind her, so it's just like a black
And then she
figure.
says, "Is Samantha there?"
Is Samantha there? She knocks. She comes around to the car, to the driver's side. Oh no, she asks for the gift. You said you had a gift for me, and he says, oh, I left it at home. She comes around to the driver's side and basically does like this cat and mouse kind of game, right? Like, oh, do you want to come inside? No, you're acting weird. And she like snaps out of it for a little bit. And we'll get into more of what that means in a little bit.
Yeah.
But she basically snaps out of it, and she's like, whoa, I'm acting so weird, and then goes right back to acting weird. And she basically gets back in the car, and she puts her head on the, what is it called? The dashboard?
Yeah.
The dashboard, and she's like, starts to, you cannot see her face at all. You can only see like the silhouette of her body, and she starts crying. And I'm very interested to know if
which one this is.
No, not which one this is. If Nikki's actually crying, or if it's just like her making the crying noises. If that makes any sense.
I feel like she's making the crying noises because I feel like she snaps out of it. I don't know. Obviously, like as the audience, you can feel the direct like. This character's acting completely different. And also very, like, I don't know, it's all just very unsettling. I feel like she was making the crying noises, but I don't know.
She might have. She basically says here that she doesn't want to be alone because her dad is dying. And
Yes.
Which has plot holes that we'll talk about. Like, well, like within the universe.
Yeah. I also throw out, too, that if you didn't know, and this is a cool thing we're doing it so late because we have so much more information now, this scene was shot 2 different times. The first time was like just them doing regular Nikki, and then the second time was just the turned Nikki or like forced Nikki, which was very cool because that's why you got such dramatic like changes. Which
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which I think if you did it in one take that'd be even cooler. But like the fact that like he made it to where like she had to forcibly like think one way and then forcibly think another way was kind of interesting. The directorial choice, but that was something that was kind of interesting. That's why you could never tell which like side she was because it just like flowed in and out. Like the way they cut it was interesting.
So then they go back to Bear's house, and he did you notice the first thing he hides is the tissue box next to the computer?
Bruh.
That's code.
He goes ahead and he basically says that she can sleep in his bed, he'll sleep on the sofa. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. That part I understand. He gets the bed ready and he's like, okay, good night, getting ready to turn off the light. And she calls him back into the room, basically saying to come and sleep in the bed with her. You know, nothing. Keep it PG-13 is what she wants.
Which him not wanting to sleep in the bed. This is like the only like normal or like respectable decision he makes for the rest of the movie, and I feel like it's not because he didn't want to. I think he's just so in shock, and like it has just changed so abruptly that he's like almost like nervous. I don't know, but it's very much like I don't think he had necessarily good intentions. I think he was just so shocked at what the hell was happening that he didn't know how to act.
Yeah, so he goes ahead, gets in bed with his shoes on, which is disgusting.
He does.
And blue jeans. How are you going to sleep in blue jeans?
Straight from the bar, bro. Got the bar germs on him.
Exactly. So then she gets more comfortable and starts to, take off her shirt, and she's in there topless, and he's in the bed next to her. She puts her head on his shoulder until eventually they start kissing, and then they start kissing more and more, and then the real Nikki comes in and she starts screaming, right? And she like, "Wah!" And then jumps off the bed, and then freaky Nikki comes back and she starts crying, basically saying like, "Oh, just that XYZ."
Yeah.
Then we cut to the next day. And Bear is sleeping on the floor. He looks up. Oh, no, we don't cut to the next day. We cut to the middle of the night because he goes to his computer and he looks up One Wish Willow to see if it's real. And it's a bunch of like, it's not Reddit, but it's some website that's supposed to be the same thing.
4chan.
It's 4chan.
Not 4chan. I was about to say I can relate to this. And you said 4chan. I can't relate to that. Yeah, he's like looking at other people's experiences, and it's very much like a mix.
Actually, I think it was Reddit.
It's something else. It's not.
It was structured like Reddit, but
yeah, it's like Chat It or something. Like it has
Chat
it has it at the end, like Reddit does, but it's something else. I can't remember what it is.
They couldn't pay for the rights.
When he goes back into the bedroom, Nikki is sitting up in bed, and she invites Bear back into bed. Then we cut to the next day. Nikki made breakfast for Bear, and when he walks into the kitchen, he sees Sandy's dead body on it's like a red mat, like a table mat or something like that. And he goes up to it, and it's like this shrine for Sandy.
She was trying to be. That's why he put it in a bag for later.
I was like, what the fuck? First off, how does she know you still have this in the house, right? So like, he had to have thrown it just in his like trash can in the
I'm
kitchen.
assuming. I don't
He
know.
didn't even take it outside.
That would smell terrible. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Like, what is he doing? And he immediately gets freaked out, which rightfully so, and is like, what the heck is this? And I really like how this is shot, because the entire conversation they're both standing, but the entire time they're speaking, we only see Sandy's body in frame. And all the flies coming around it.
Which, like, obviously, any normal, like, this is why I say he makes terrible decisions going forward because of, like, his own selfishness or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is, like, the moment he should realize, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, this is not something that a normal person would do in their, like, sound mind.
I think that moment should have came when they were kissing and she freaked out. Yeah. That's besides the point.
Oh, yeah.
This movie has a lot. I mean, we probably should have said this at the beginning, but this movie has a lot to do with about like taking away somebody's bodily autonomy.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's kind of that's the underlining theme, really. Yeah. And them kissing and making out is like one of the things that's like bang, really driving it home that she's not consenting to any of this. Yeah. We cut to Nikki and Bear arriving at work. Bear takes Ian to the back, or like the little side room or something like that.
Bro, and she's staring at him the
entire time.
Oh man, I like the way this scene was shot. So like to go to a little bit of detail. Basically, he's giving Ian the rundown of like, hey, I think something's wrong with Nikki. Like, there's just a lot of weird stuff. He kind of goes through what happened that night. That like, oh, you know, she was like crying, and she was like, it was like she's not like basically she's unstable, right? Like I think he uses very like key words of like she is like in extreme mental distress, But as they're having this conversation, which is not, first of all, they're in the doorway to the store in the back room. So it's not like they're hiding in the back room. They're having this conversation where anybody in the store could probably hear them. They're talking fairly loudly. Nikki is probably like 10 feet away from them at the cash register. And the way they shot this scene is like one of those like, it's not a long shot, but it's basically the focus is
on the front
end. But Nikki is so far enough back that she's blurred, but you can tell she's facing them. No movement, just dead still staring at them the entire
and I
conversation.
think it will cut to like Ian, and then it cuts back, and you still see Nikki.
Yeah, staring. Yeah, like at no point does she ever turn. I think it cuts to her even comes up too, and she doesn't.
And it's like a minute or two. Like it is long enough to where somebody doesn't just look for that long.
Yeah,
like,
it's very uncomfortable.
It even cuts to Nikki sometimes, and she's just smiling at them.
Yeah, it's like what the.
In this conversation, Bear also drops that her dad is dying of cancer. And Ian rebuttals, and he's like, you mean the dad that she doesn't care about that lives in Washington?
Yes.
In completely different, I don't know where they live, but in a completely different state.
Yeah.
And then I think Ian also drops do you think that she was on Molly again? And then it's just that conversation. Like, was she high?
Yeah.
We cut to them after work. And Bear drops like, oh, I'm sorry, Nikki, you can't come home with me tonight. Like, I gotta go. And she's just grabbing her bag from his car. And he's like, no, it's okay. Ian's gonna give me a ride. So then they go ahead, go their separate ways. We are at home, and it's a conversation between Bear and Ian, and it's on the phone, basically saying that during work, the entire day, Nikki was staring at Bear, and Ian right away is like, no, she wasn't looking at you. She wasn't looking at you or anything. And it's just like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yes, exactly. And I was like, literally, the customer who came in and Nikki didn't want to help because she was staring at y'all the entire time. What do you mean? She wasn't looking at him.
Yeah.
And then he also drops, no, she was looking at both of us.
Yeah, he's very clearly, this is like the first sign of like, he's a little jealous boy.
Yes, he is. I forgot who said this, what creator said this, but another woman creator had said that Ian is definitely the friend that says that they hate drama, but then stirs up all the drama ever. And I was like, dang, that's funny.
100%.
Nikki then shows up to Bear's house, and she's in like this red dress, right? I think at this point. And it's definitely not like a casual looking outfit. It's more of like a going out outfit. And she apologizes for being weird. She says that that she was on Molly, or that she was really fucked up or something like that. And she does like the like the this
ooh.
motion, the ooh, and she says, "I know you like me, Bear," and he says, "Do you like me?" And then she goes, "Would it freak you out if I said yes?" And then they basically confess their feelings for each other at this point. And we have a boyfriend-girlfriend montage, right?
Which I don't know how much time has passed in this. I'm assuming it's been...
It's a few days.
You know, like, yeah, at least a few days. Somebody else had brought up a really good point about this movie, about, like, just the time frame. If Nikki ever turned in her 2 weeks, because the entire time she technically still works at the place, so the entire movie
has to have happened within those 2 weeks.
Right.
Oh, she still works there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's why she has the keys for the later.
Oh, you're right. Which is crazy considering that, like, yeah, they basically, like, jump full in. Which, again, is just Bear being, like, negligent and being selfish of, like, even though it literally makes zero sense. Even though, like, because I still at this time feel like he doesn't think it was a wish that did it.
Right.
But he's kind of just, like, living so much in the moment, he's like, nah, I'm gonna enjoy it. Even though it's suspicious as hell for somebody just to, like, fucking move in with you like that.
Yeah, and then I think even during the montage, right, they show, like, Ian, like, looking and, like...
Yes,
like,
Ian and Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
At work.
They're just like, what the... Yeah, they like, at all these montages, they're never working at one point. Which, good to know, Sarah's dad also owns the shop, so, like...
I couldn't remember which parent it was.
Sarah's dad.
Mm-hmm. There's also the shot where they're, like, watching some movie, and Nikki instead is staring at Bear, and he keeps turning her head to look at the TV screen, but she keeps, like, snapping back.
Yeah.
Then we cut to the restaurant scene, which I think is really good.
Yeah, I think this is the most well-known scene because this is the one that was shown, I think, in all the trailers for the movie.
Yeah. So basically what happens here is the two of them have this conversation where Nikki is asking Bear, like, hey, you know, what is it that you actually want to do? Right? And at this point, they're in their mid-20s, and I understand that this is a conversation to have, but at the very, 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 very beginning with the waitress, Ian tells Bear that him asking Nikki out is a 7-year late promposal.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been out of high school for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
How have you been out of high school for 7 years? You've obviously been to trivia night with this person. You've been friends for more than 7 years.
Well, I think, didn't she just, like, move back or something, like, not too long? I mean, yeah, she was there for a little bit, but I think, wasn't she away at some point somewhere?
I don't think so.
I thought they had brought up that something, like, she was in, like, maybe
I don't know.
Because he had moved to their town. But either way, you've known this person for more than 7 years. How do you not know what this man wants to do?
Yeah.
Like, they've never had that conversation. You never in high school had to write a story about, like, or an essay, what I want to be when I grow up.
Especially if she actually liked him. Like, yeah.
What are you doing? He basically says here that he wants to be a food critic. No, sorry. Rewind a little bit. She asks him, what do you want to do? And he responds with, it's not your fault that you don't know. I'm kind of private. And in my mind, I wrote in my notes, fucking fedora ass wearing fuckboy. Like, oh, it's not your fault.
I'm kind of private.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He's a Discord mod.
He's a Discord mod. He's a, I don't know the name of the dude, but with the
feet?
the feet. He snaps the feet. Hello, princess. He basically says that he wants to be a food critic here, and they do like a little, I guess, kind of role play thing going on, right? Where he's like, "Oh, what do you think about this bread?" And he gives a fucking response. And he gets a conversation from Ian at this point, and he gets a phone call from Ian, and he takes the phone call. He walks away. If you think of like Olive Garden, where they have like the little kiosk for the waiters and waitresses to put in the orders or whatever. So he's standing next to that. And in the background, you just see Nikki, right, stand up, and she's, like, looking while this conversation is going on.
Which Ian's calling about the dad thing,
Yes,
right?
yes, he is. He calls and says that he called everybody, right, in Washington. Every hospital ever in Washington.
Ian
even
is-
the one from The Strangers Chapter 2. And they never heard of...
Which, you know, like, Ian, a real friend, like, if Sarah was doing it, I would take it as being genuine. But, like, you're saying, it's just Ian trying to disprove, like, nah, she can't actually be in love with you. Like, basically
Exactly.
this weird, like, jealousy thing where he's
Yeah.
trying to disprove their love. But not for the right reason.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And my other thing, too, is, like, isn't that, like, a HIPAA violation for the
I feel like
hospital?
yes.
No, well, he's just asking if they have him admitted, which they
Okay,
have.
I see.
They will tell you like, oh hey, where is so and so's room? And they'll be like, we don't have that person. But yeah, man, every hospital,
Every hospital ever, even the one from Strangers Chapter 2, prove me wrong.
was it in Jupiter or what is it? What is the name
Venus.
of it? Venus.
the one with one employee.
With one employee.
Even though it's like 50,000 square feet.
Yeah. It's as big as the backroom set. And here in this conversation, Ian also says that Nikki and Sarah had a conversation where
A while
Nikki a while back, where Nikki told Sarah that she likes Bear as a brother.
Yeah.
Which I think comes into play later, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or later, sorry. Bear is starting to put the pieces together, right? And he's realizing that it was his wish.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's barely
Yeah,
realizing.
he's barely realizing this. He's not very bright, in my opinion. He then goes back to sit at the table where Nikki gives him a tiger's eye, like a little crystal necklace where it's supposed to, what does she say? Bring confidence and willpower.
Yeah.
The two things that he doesn't have.
Yeah.
And she says, as she's giving this to him, she says, Bear, I love you so, so, so much. I don't think I could live without you, which in my mind is like, that's a pretty intense thing to say to somebody that you just started dating, but that's
Yeah.
besides the point. And he drops the line. He doesn't respond to what she said. He doesn't listen to a goddamn thing that this lady says. He responds with, does your dad really have cancer? And this is where we get her standing up. Or no, not yet. She goes, no. And she stands up, no. And she like starts pouting, right? She goes, I thought we were having a really good day.
And everybody's just looking at it. It's just like, oh.
Everybody.
This scene made me so uncomfortable. We've talked about it. This was like, if we rewind a few videos back to the Hokum review, how I got chills during it's a donkey, right?
Mhm.
The donkey on the TV. This gave me that same feeling of like, there's a few more moments in this movie that did it for me. But this is when I realized, like, holy shit, bro, this makes me mad uncomfortable. Like, just the yelling and, like, it coming out of nowhere. And just because, like, it's not the way a normal person acts. Like,
Right.
the psychotic behavior really makes you feel like,
Well, I
bro,
think-
what the fuck is going on?
It's like the idea of like if you were in that situation of like there's like no winning right now. Everybody's looking
Right.
at
It's
y'all,
so uncanny.
and of course, yes, everybody's gonna think that she's going crazy. But then like you look like a jerk too. You're just like, oh wait,
Yeah.
like you're just like, oh man,
What did
like,
that guy do?
Yeah, what did that guy do? Oh man, but yeah, I was like, oh man, that was a really good scene.
Mm-hmm. He then basically calms her down by saying like, no, it's okay, it doesn't matter to me. And she goes, well, what does it matter if my dad has cancer? And he says, no, it doesn't matter to me. We're cool. Basically trying to defuse the situation. And here, I think, so there's a lot of like other sides of the coin too, right? Yes, Bear is a bad person. He took away this person's consent, right? Like her bodily autonomy. This is also, I think, supposed to show the other side of the coin where like people being in abusive situations where they're being emotionally manipulated, right? Into like just, no, it's okay, I'll give you whatever you want. Just don't make a scene right now.
Yeah.
With that being said, Bear is not the good guy.
Yeah.
No.
Because we immediately cut to Bear and Nikki having adult relationships in bed. And her face, the only body part we see is Bear's butt cheeks. And she very clearly, her face is not like enjoying this, right?
Which I think, like, I don't know. This is such a tough scene, and that like.
Yes, this one does make me feel like very uncomfortable.
I think a few people in the theater laughed at it because like for a second it's kind of like, bro, that's mad awkward. But yeah, when you really think about like what is going on, and she's basically sitting there like
assaulted.
a robot, like
Yeah.
she has no control. She's clearly, whether like it's freaky Nikki or like the actual Nikki that's there in the moment, like there's clearly no actual love or like it's just like watching somebody getting taken advantage of is such an uncomfortable feeling.
There's a couple things that I do want to point out here. According to, I tried to look out for it the second time I watched the movie. I couldn't see it, but according to, I'm pretty sure this is confirmed, but according to Curry Barker, she's supposed to be crying during the scene.
She is. She can see it. She's like crying,
Really?
but she's making the vocal noises.
Yes, which are very, you know, you can think of the noises that she's making as very typical as coming from like adult movies.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I think in the original script, that she was supposed to snap out of it during this, and they were like, "Oh, like we can't do that and still have it come into theaters or something like that." Which she was supposed to come to during
That would
this
have been
scene.
terrible.
Yeah, and
Which I feel like it still did what it needed to do. Almost like because we don't get that, I don't want to say validation, but like because she isn't able to set that boundary, I feel like it's almost worse to watch. And it's just very like, and this is another moment where you see that Bear really doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't second guess it. He doesn't think, like, at first it went from like their very first night when she like freaked out about it or whatever. He's super like, oh my god, she's acting weird. Like this isn't normal. To like, he's not even paying attention to how she feels or like the face she's making.
Yes,
He's
exactly.
just like in it for himself, bro.
Right.
It's a tough watch.
Then we cut to sleepy time, where he wakes up and Nikki isn't in the bed. And I love the way this is shot.
This was another moment that's like...
The first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
It's so good. Which I feel like other movies don't execute. I mean, usually it's like a paranormal movie that'll have something like this. But I feel like it's just another... Because it's so out of the like human ordinary. And just the way she plays the character and all of it is just very like...
Yeah.
I hate this, man.
So he wakes up and he sits up in bed. And the camera's currently on him sitting up in bed. And then it points to what he's looking at, and it's just this dark room. But if you look in the corner, you can see like the flannel sleeve.
It's like everybody's worst fear of like seeing something in the corner.
Yes, and he goes, Nikki, what are you doing? And then she's like, I'm watching you sleep. She's in the corner. I'm watching you sleep. You're so cute when you sleep. Which is like crazy fucking thing to say. And then she drops the I don't like my dreams and then starts crying.
And then she does the like they pan to her, and I forget the name of the makeup like design, but like they do this makeup design that basically makes her like almost look super aged, like she's almost like 80, and like but like the way that they like extend the like black makeup to make her pupils look bigger, and then like to have like these added wrinkles. I don't know, it's like really weird, like almost like I hate using the word possessed, but like basically like, you know, in possession movies when it disfigures their face, it's kind of like that, like her facial features look disfigured in the shadows because of that moment. And then she's like doing the like she's sobbing, and then she's like, go back to bed, and he's just like, oh
yeah, in a little bit.
Does she run up to the bed when she does that?
Yes,
because there's a few scenes, I don't remember if this was one of them.
I just want to point it out really quick. When she creeps out of the shadow to keep talking to him, she goes like, she does this fucking motion.
Spooky.
Yeah, and then
like again, it just adds to like, bro, this is not normal, and almost like obviously you know that it's meant to be scary and like something is gonna happen. But it's just so unsettling because you don't know. Like, you're just... I feel like you're in as much shock as he is in witnessing this. And maybe this isn't one of the scenes, but it happens later on where I wonder... Either she's really good at, like, moving very uncanny. I feel like some parts later on were shot, like...
Oh, I know what you're
her walking backwards and then, like, switch to go the other way. I don't know. Because there's times when, like, she does not move the way a human... Like, a normal human would move.
But yes, you're right. It's the she says, I feel like you don't love me as much as I do. Like it's not mutual. And then she goes, go back to sleep. And then that's when she fucking...
Which, like, the first time she does it, every time she does that, because it, like, she went from whispering to, like, then, like... And he always gives in, bruh.
Yes.
Like, okay. Even though, like, he knows it's not normal. He knows it's not right.
And she goes, why don't you love me? Nikki! And like,
Incredible, man.
yes, she's really good. And then she like runs out of the room. And he's like, he doesn't leave the bed. He stays in bed. He doesn't follow her.
I would be terrified.
I
Man.
would too. And he's like, Nikki, what are you doing? Because you hear rustling and stuff from the other room. And she comes back with flowers. And she's holding a vase. And they're like covering her. They're covering her face. And there's like this long pause, right? He's like, Nikki, what are you doing? And we just see the back of his head and like her holding the vase. And it's like, it feels like it goes on forever. Like this pause, I had the same feeling of like, just to bring back Hokum when he's looking down the elevator shaft and you see the fucking face. And like, that just feels like forever. And it's the same feeling that I got. And she goes, they're for Sandy. And then we cut.
Yeah, man.
No. I'm sorry. She goes, they're for Sandy. She puts them on the side of the...
Then she like walk on the...
Yes. She puts them on the nightstand. She gets into bed, and she's like, I think she's Big Spoon, or they're facing each other or something like that. And then Bear's about to get out of the bed to go to like the restroom or some bullshit, and she goes, stay! And he's like...
So good, man.
And then we cut to the next day.
Which, if you're this guy, bro, you got to get out of there. But again, he can't feel bad for him. He did it to himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's taking advantage of it.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, I guess he got what he wanted. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. We cut to the next day. Bear's getting ready to go to work. He notices that he's like missing some hair. Mm-hmm. And he asks her, like, did you cut my hair? And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, no more weird stuff, I think is what he says, right? Like,
Which
no
he
more...
He has to say multiple times about multiple things. That's like, bro, in a normal relationship, you would never have to... Like, just hearing what he's saying is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's not do that anymore. Like,
yeah.
Like, he's clearly aware that she's basically functions... I don't want to say like a child, but like...
Yes.
Not
like somebody
all there.
that you have to correct all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's that whole conversation about no more weird stuff, XYZ. And she's like, okay, well, I made lunch for you. And she hands him the lunch box. And he goes, can we talk about last night? And she said that she had a really bad dream. And then she goes, I had a really bad dream. And then she like practiced smiles. And he's like, and she says, how's this? And he goes, not great. And I'm like, what the fuck? First off, this is helpful advice to anybody. If your partner is smiling at you and says, how's my smile? The answer is never
Not
great. That is crazy thing to say. I could never imagine myself telling that to Joyce. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Yeah, and then the conversation continues.
And you kind of get a sense of like, obviously you know that more stuff is going to happen. Mm-hmm. You get a sense of like, okay, he seems to have some amount of control over the situation. Like maybe she'll listen because she's so infatuated with him in this state. And then just where this leads is absolutely this is like every time you think it can't get crazier, it gets crazier.
Yeah, I think part of the setup is that they're having all these conversations and that's the focal point, but where they're also situated, I think, isn't he facing the doorway to start and then she turns when he's leaving to set up the what is the culmination of this scene?
No, well, they're facing each other during the conversation, and then he goes to leave, but we're still only getting the shot of him.
Yeah.
And then I think he like pauses, and I feel like he turns around before we see it.
Yeah.
It gives us a long moment of, you can tell something's wrong, and he's like, takes a pause before we get the full
where he's like,
of
he's like, okay, I'm gonna head to work now. And what did she say? She says something along the lines of like, are you sure? Yeah, you can stay here, And he's like, no, I gotta work. And so this whole time they're having this, what is it, probably 3-minute dialogue.
Which is funny because they're right in front of him. Right, like, he didn't look.
Yeah, he didn't mention anything about it during the conversation. They reveal that the door is completely duct taped, like to where like he can't leave. So at some point in the morning while he was getting ready or asleep, she duct taped the entire door. And so it's just the awkward. It reminds me of what is that show called? I Think You Should Leave. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I
It's the
haven't.
guy that does the 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55
Bruh.
shit. So he does it. This is funny. It reminded me of this scene because in the first episode, if I'm not mistaken, he has like a whole little gag where he's just leaving and he tries to push the door, or no, he tries to pull the door, but it's a push. And so he doesn't want to be wrong, and the guy's like, "Oh, I think it's a push." He's like, "Oh no, it goes both ways." So he literally sits there and like for like 3 minutes like pulls at the door and eventually like cracks it open. But like there's this uncomfortable like these two guys staring at each other, and it reminded me of that because Bear like is trying to open the door and he's having to like slowly get
Another, like, comedic moment.
all the duct tape off the door, and like him just like.
And he's playing it off like it's like
like it's normal. Yeah,
like the fact that he ever comes back home after this is like,
I
bro.
have to send you a scene. It's great. It's literally, and there's just literally the guy like stone faced, like staring at him, like, and he just like.
Did he say anything to Nikki about it? Or
No, that's what's funny is that he literally like
Just, like,
all this
plays it
whole
off.
and then
Because she tells him, if you're having trouble with the door, maybe you should just
stay here. He's like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Maybe take the back door. I don't know.
True. True, actually. He eventually gets the door open and leaves, and she stands there, smiles for the camera. Then you hear the door shut, and it's
Just her.
The more the
her.
movie goes on, the less like autonomy she has. Basically, like it's clear
and she stands there, and she starts to urinate on herself, and I'm like, oh my fucking
The
god,
Exorcist
that's crazy.
style.
Yeah. Exorcist style. So then we cut to Bear at lunch. He opens his lunchbox and it's the Polaroids, and there's 2 of them. I can't remember what the first one is, but the second one is a selfie that Nikki had taken while Bear was asleep. She's smiling, he's asleep, and at the bottom it says "not me," which is pretty significant because this is.
I didn't catch that.
Yes, it's. I think he said you and then for him and then not me for her.
Mhm.
And like this whole time, he's sitting like having a conversation with Sarah.
Right.
So some of this he's trying to like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like hide or whatever.
So they're having a conversation, and she says, right, like, "Hey, your lunch smells weird," or something like that.
Which I
Also-
don't know if they mentioned, like, if Nikki comes up prior to this, but like they're having a very what I would call like deep conversation. Like you can tell there's a lot of like, this is the only actual human interaction he's
Right,
getting.
it's not a superficial interaction.
Right, so the
Yeah.
juxtaposition is crazy.
And going into this, I think part of this discussion too is the I would not even say B story. It's like the D little plot line of essentially. I think the dad. This is where we find out the dad is the owner of the store for Sarah. He hands her the letter or whatever art school, and she got denied again. And so he's asking her like, "Hey, how many did you do?" She's like, "I forgot however many," and like she only has one left, and it wasn't that one. So he's
for
like,
Luther.
Yeah, for Luther, and she's like, "Oh, okay, well, just kind of, it's gonna happen. I believe in you, But then, she like ends up like basically walking away. Didn't she put her head on his shoulders at one point
Yes,
too?
this is right here.
They lean on each other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're having like a real genuine moment.
And then
here.
I'm like, bro, who's running the store right now? I mean, probably the dad, but yeah, no. And then we get your food kind of smells off, and then
there's a sticky note about the food.
Yes,
critic
it
thing.
says, "My little food critic, what's the verdict on cat?"
After he's already taken a bite. Bro.
No, he took multiple bites,
take
and then he
multiple
like looks at it, and you can kind of see his like meat is like gray.
Yes.
And then he like runs to the trash can and just.
And he starts vomiting,
Which
and
did-
then Sarah's like, "What's going on?" And he
Did she
says,
even ask
"Inside
about
joke."
Oh yeah, because she asked like, "What about the sticky note?"
Mhm.
Yeah, this is another one of the moments that like it's almost funny, but then you're also just so in shock of like,
Oh,
bro, what the fuck? Like
yeah.
again, when you think it can't get crazier, it just continues to push the line of like.
Yeah, that was wild. I was like, dang.
The other important thing that we forgot to mention in this conversation is Sarah asks Bear if he's gonna go to Ian's party later.
Yes.
Yes. So then we cut after the inside joke. They're leaving work, or the shift ended, and Ian hitches a ride with Bear, and they go ahead and leave, and they have this really awkward conversation in the car, and I really like the way that this is shot. So in the driver's seat, of course, is Bear, and in the passenger seat is Ian. The entire time, not the entire time, but the majority of this is shot in the back seat.
Yeah.
Right? Like it gives almost the feeling, it gave me the feeling like I'm not supposed to be listening to this conversation, but we're
Right.
still like hearing what's going on. And he's basically saying how it's weird, like their relationship is weird, right? How all of a sudden she's really into him and all these other things, and like you can look at this two ways. The first way, if you take it more on surface level, is that Ian can very clearly see that Bear is taking advantage of the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Hey, dude, like that's not cool, XYZ," which is very like that's really what's going on, right? And he's like, "That's really not cool." The other thing to keep in mind here is that Ian basically has a thing for Nikki, right? This
Right.
whole fucking movie, and we'll find out in a little bit.
Which means
why.
he's almost been like sabotaging Bear the whole time.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. And so, like, this conversation could also read off as like, "Hey, dude, step off my girl. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Which is, something else. Basically, what's going on here is Bear says like, "Oh, hey, I heard about your party. Sarah told me." And he goes, "Well, yeah, I don't want you and Nikki to be there because she's being all weird or whatever."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Well, what if I wanted to go?" And he's like, "Okay, well, if you come, then no Nikki. Like, I'm not having both of y'all here." And he goes, "I'll call Sarah and tell her that not to come, so that way it's only a boys' night." And so then they're like, "Okay, cool, whatever." When Bear gets home, he's looking in the rear view mirror, and of course from the camera it's as if he's looking at the camera. Well, I mean, I'm sure the actor's actually looking at the camera. And he says, "You can't cook the cat." And he's like, "Nikki, you can't cook the cat." And this whole time I thought Nikki was in the backseat. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I thought she was gonna pop up, and this is another instance of like, it's so outrageous. It's kind of funny, like the fact that he's practicing this
Yes.
and treating it like it's normal. Like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, he's really in this, man.
Yeah, I think he like moves his backpack, goes to pick it up or something, and we hear the jingle from the One Wish Willow in the back seat. So then he calls customer service, and of course the person who picks up the phone is Curry Barker, and it's like, "Hello."
No, he's like, "Hey, man." He's like, it's very, very, like, you could tell, like, this dude's, like, just super chill about it. Similar to the workers at the, what is it, the crystal shop. Like, they knew it was real, but, like, nonchalant about it. And, yeah, it's basically, like, calling to complain, or not complain, but calling to, like, try to get his, no, does he not go to the store first? No, that's right. Okay, so anyways, so he basically is, like, on the phone with him and is, like, it's like the worker's trying to get out of him, like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Yeah, I just need what does he say? The verbiage is, I'd like to make like an amendment to my wish."
He wants to alter his
Which
wish.
part of this is in the trailer, right? Part of this
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah, and the guy's like, I think he even asked him, he's like, "Oh, so you want to cancel your wish?" He's like, No. I just want to like change it a little bit.
How can you not want to cancel the wish?
Yeah.
Like,
Which to me made me think like, so can you cancel the wish? Because he
Right.
he almost gave him an out, like almost, but he's like, no, I want to alter it. And then he was just like, well, can't really do that. And then he even brings up like, he's like, honestly, you might need to like, take care of this person now because
The line is, sounds to me like you have a moral obligation to be there for her.
Yeah. Because you did this to her, so now you have to take care of her, which is like, damn.
I'm pretty sure we hear her screaming, like on that side of the phone.
Yes.
Was she crying or screaming?
So there's a lot of things that are going on in this scene. So the before the moral obligation thing, Bear asks him, the customer service representative, "Is she just fucked forever?" And he replies with, "Yeah, as long as you live." So boom, that's where we get our out. That's where we know how the movie's gonna end. Then eventually the conversation goes to it sounds like you have a moral obligation to be there for her. And then the customer service rep is like, "Do you want to talk to her?" And he's like, "Talk to who?" And he's like, "The real Nikki. She's right here." And then ideally gives her the phone, and she's screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. And he doesn't even like try to say anything, right? He immediately hangs up.
He's
I
like,
don't want to hear that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
He didn't listen to her when she was regular Nikki. He's not going to listen to her when he fucked her up.
Yeah.
Then he goes and he walks into his house. The door is taped for the rest of the movie. Like, they don't take the tape off the door. It's there for the rest of the movie.
Really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it is. He walks into the door, and Nikki did not move.
There's confirmation of that.
Yes, because there's not only is her urine all over the floor, but there's also vomit and shit all over the floor.
Gave like the mummy vibes when the floor that they never cleaned.
So then she's like, "Oh, I'm disgusting," blaming herself for something that it's his fault. Anyways, "Oh, I'm disgusting," whatever, XYZ. So then she goes to shower, and she's like, and Bear's trying to talk to her through the restroom door, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Ian's tonight," and she's like, "Oh, okay, we can both go XYZ," and he's like, "No, it's a boys' night," and immediately he's like,
no, it's boys' night. I think I'm just gonna go by myself, and then
because didn't you have
like,
the water started?
Yeah, and then you hear like the water and the pipes like shrieking. And what did she say after that? She dropped like a really scary line too of like.
I don't know. I know there's. I know there's a pause.
Oh no! She screams. She's like, I don't know. She says something like scary, and just like, yeah. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
And he gives in again. Okay, we'll go together, even though, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We cut to the party, and they're playing Jenga.
Which Sarah was there, so he lied. No.
he did. You're right. Remember, he loves the drama. Sarah's also not the only. Sarah and Nikki aren't the only girls that are there.
Yeah, you're right.
People who are there. Anyways, there's somebody who makes a joke at Bear's expense. I forget what it is exactly, but this is the other trailer part where she's like laughing and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" Because she continues laughing after everybody's done laughing.
Like well beyond, like 20 seconds past.
Oh, it's somebody asks him, "What kind of spell did you put on her?"
Yeah. And she's like, ah.
I know, right?
And she's like all over him too, right? Like she's like, yeah. And then I thought this scene was really well done too, like by everybody. It's like very set the tone immediately when they show up in this scene that like everybody's already kind of uncomfortable with them. Like I think they even show Ian as they're like sitting there and she's on him, like he's just like,
yeah,
bruh.
Yeah. Like the friends that don't know how to stop the PDA, right?
Yeah, honestly. And so somebody picks up a Jenga bar from the top. That's not how you play Jenga.
Yeah.
That's not how you play Jenga. And his is like switch seats with somebody. So he's like, I want to sit next to Nikki. And so then him and Bear switch. And
which, first of all, this man, like the I don't know. Why would you even play this game if you knew this? Like, I think the first big thing of like Ian knew that this was a problem. This goes back to what you were saying. Like he knew this person was a problem, and is like, let's play this game that's gonna probably involve like all these crazy uncomfortable things. Yes.
After he pulls his thing, they switch seats. Nikki pulls hers. We don't ever see or know what her block says, but she stands up and she starts reading from a book that she's working on.
Which, has she always been an author this whole time?
Yeah, technically,
I think she mentioned it.
Yes. She mentioned that was the reason she was going to put in her 2 weeks notice was because she was going to like submit some writings and do some things. And
she needs a change of life.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm going to read this poem I wrote for him.
Yes.
And then
did you catch what the poem was about?
Yes. Basically, the poem was essentially their current state of
it's an ancestral story about Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
And which brings a whole lot of stuff together, right? Yeah. The first thing is that Nikki told Sarah that she loves him like a brother. Hansel and Gretel are siblings. The other thing that's brought up here is that I didn't write down the exact. Oh no, I did.
The witch, right?
It's Hansel and Gretel. The two of them.
Yeah, but like something happened with the witch did to her. That's why she's she is also under a spell.
Yeah, I think so, because she drops the line that Gretel tells Hansel, the love that she has, the love only a branch of a willow tree can conjure.
Yes.
Willow tree, one wish willow.
Yeah.
Right. Put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Then she sits down and everybody's like, what the fuck? whose turn is it?
Yeah.
I just imagine it's so funny that there's one guy who actually wants to play Jenga.
Yeah. Was it the same guy? It was the same guy that took the first place too. It's like, bro.
Like, bro, that's what you're worried about right now. Everybody's like in shock.
Yeah, no, everybody, like I say, everybody's just like, the whole time just like,
And one guy's like, "Oh yeah, we can play Jenga."
Your turn, bro.
Yeah, and it's Bear's turn, of course.
And he pulls the Jenga block
Off the top.
and he's off the top.
They gotta make sure it didn't fall for filming, bro.
Yeah. Okay, redo it.
And his says, "Kiss the person to your left." And the camera like zooms out a little bit, and it's Sarah. And Nikki, and it cuts to Nikki, and she gives the.
Yeah,
It's more like.
Yeah. No, here was my other thing too. Somebody brought this up. Somebody brought this up. In this game, at any point you can just take a drink to not do that. So Bear literally was about to choose to do it, knowing good full and well that Nikki would be upset about it. And so what ends up happening is like Nikki just stands up, walks around, gets behind her, but they don't even show like Nikki's face at this point. It's just
like Sarah's.
Well, yeah, because Sarah's the entire time is just like.
Because she's like, oh shit. Like,
and then she goes behind her and she just grabs her chair, standing behind her menacingly. You just hear.
It's like the door thing again. Like you just hear the awkward.
Yeah, and everybody just like, and what does she do? She like basically like stands right next to him.
She kneels over and she goes. And after the two of them kiss, she like says, "I love you so much, Bear." And she stands up and she points at everybody and she says, "No one on this earth will ever comprehend how much I love you."
And then she breaks the bottle, right?
Not yet.
Oh.
And then she goes, "I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Come on." And then she goes, "No, I'm not joking." And then that's when that happens.
Yeah, she like grabs a bottle and smashes it and just
she
starts
says, she says, "It's not me," and then grabs it.
Yeah.
It's not me, and then she like grabs the bottle, exactly what you're saying, smashes it. Does she break it?
Yeah, she breaks it and then just starts like basically like pushing it into her like eye socket area. And then like during this time too, they're like, "Dude, Bear," like nobody's stopping her, and they're like, "Bear, do something," and Bear's just like.
Literally frozen, bro.
I was like, what? And like this is one of those like nobody's gonna do
shit,
dude. That's wild. And
man, all these people suck. Well,
yeah, they're all
except
bad.
Sarah. I'll give Sarah a pass.
And so then we cut to them going to the ER, and I don't understand. Maybe I'll have some insight on this. I don't understand what's happening here. So Bear drives Nikki to the ER. The nurse comes outside. And Nikki's dancing in the parking lot, but they never go inside?
Oh, yes. They don't go inside because basically they say she can't be treated unless she says she wants to be treated. And she doesn't want to be treated because she doesn't want to be away from him. So that's one of those.
So she's not consenting to
she's not consenting to their help. So she just has to go home and he has to, like, basically kind of going back to you have a moral obligation to take care of her now.
Right.
Like,
so then we're at home. We cut back to home, and Bear says, "I'm going to the restroom, Nikki." So they go. He goes, and she asks him, "Can I stand outside?" And so it's just this awkward thing, right? And she goes, "I know Sarah likes you," and he goes, actually, this conversation kind of makes me really sad. Not kind of. It makes me really sad because he says that everything was normal. And like, why can't you just be normal? This isn't okay, Nikki. And she goes, "Do you like me?" And Bear then asks for some space and like, "Hey, it's normal for couples to have space away from each other. I'm just gonna go stay with Ian." And he's like, "Just be normal. Just be Nikki." And she says, "I can't be Nikki." She keeps screaming that, "I can't be Nikki." Oh, that makes me so sad just to hear like. Just be yourself, and she's like, she just can't.
Which again, this is all his fault. Like he
can't
took
take responsibility for his actions.
Like, bro, you had Nikki as a friend, and that wasn't enough for you. So now you've completely fucked up her life,
right?
And you want to like go back in time. I don't know. It's just like
you
gotta sit with the consequences, man.
Yeah, and he says he drops the line. It's not like he. Snaps right into his mind and he says it's not real, and this is where she's like crying and then she like backwards walks until like and we get the same lighting right where we don't see anything. The old what did you say? The old people makeup.
Yeah, it's like I forget the name of it, but it's just really.
Where she looks different. She's standing in the shadows. She goes to the kitchen. You hear some rustling, and she comes back with a knife. And she's standing in the doorway. And she says that she'll die if Bear goes to stay the night with Ian, which is like such a manipulative thing to say, but can't blame her, right?
Yeah.
She didn't ask for any of this. And then she drops a line of, "Or you can just stay." And then walks
And
away.
his literal, because he's put himself in a situation, the only thing he can do is continue to give in.
Yeah.
And, he constantly does it, which is why he's become more and more,
The other thing that happens here that I forgot to write down was that she fucking...
Again?
Punk ass bitch. Yeah.
She does call him that, doesn't she? Which is kind of bro. In a way, the irony of, in a way, he's getting abused. This is something that an abuser would do, but he wished it on himself. It's just such a fuck, dude. In his mind, this is what he wanted. He made that wish, and now he's realizing
the consequence. Oh no, is that the consequences of my actions?
Yeah.
So then we cut to that night. We're getting to the really juicy stuff. We cut to that night. It's a text from Sarah. He receives a text from Sarah, which first off is super loud as fuck. Right, his ringtone that goes
is at
off.
2 a.m.
Yes, and the phone just lights up the room. And it's a conversation from Sarah, basically saying and if you look at the timestamps, they were talking 30 minutes before. But that conversation was her checking up on him. I think she texts something like, did y'all make it home safe, okay, or something like that. Basically, Sarah asks hey, I need to meet you at the park. Right, I need to tell you something really important, and it just can't wait. Yeah, can't be over the text. And she,
because he's can you just text? Or he's like, no, I don't think. And then she's like, no, if you don't, then I'm gonna go to your house.
Yes,
and he's like,
he realizes
yes,
that's a bad idea.
Yeah. So then he gets out of bed. And
he sneaks.
He's sneaking
Did he
out.
put jeans on, or I don't remember. Maybe he gets dressed sometime. We don't see it happen.
This motherfucker probably sleeps in jeans, right? We saw that very first night. So as he's getting ready to leave, we hear Nikki, and she says, "Bear," and he turns around, and she says, "Don't wake her. She's sleeping. It's me." And she's like, "Please kill me."
Yeah.
And
he still leaves.
Well, yes, there's more, but she says, "Bear, please kill me. She's sleeping. It's me. Please don't wake her up. Just kill me." And his response is, "What's so bad about being with me?"
Ugh.
What the fuck do you mean? Did you not see this lady grab a knife and then almost body check you? What the fuck are you talking about?
Which is bro, he's still he's still not getting the point.
Exactly.
Of, he's playing victim of
yes.
Why? See, if you would have just loved me, this would have never happened.
Exactly.
Basically,
exactly.
This is classic male manipulation of bro,
yes.
What the fuck?
And she drops the line, "I've never been with you, Bear."
Yeah.
And then she says, "Just kill me, please, please." And as she keeps begging, please, please, he just fucking leaves.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck about what she's saying.
Because he can't do it. Because in a weird way, he'd rather have this shitty thing that he has now than set her free. He has her trapped, and it's fucking crazy. Even he's being threatened, but he'd rather have that than be alone, basically.
Mm-hmm. So then we go and we meet up with Sarah. Sarah brings up Nikki's dad, and he says, "Oh no, that she no, they're close now. You don't get it. You don't get it. I live with her. She's normal, or the dad's dying, whatever." And Sarah says she needs therapy, Bear, and he just doesn't give a fuck about that.
Right. So they're both basically accusing him. Ian and now Sarah have accused him or told him she's clearly not well, and you're taking advantage of her.
Right.
This isn't normal behavior.
Sarah says that Ian. This is where then we find out more about Sarah and Ian and Nikki. That the two of them for the past 2 years have been having sex, right?
Yeah.
Super casual. There's no feelings involved. XYZ, and that's really the reason why Ian's been such an asshole this entire time.
Yeah.
Saying that And then she drops the line that I think you need somebody more chill. And he's like you? And she says, well, I mean, I was sitting on your left.
Bruh. Yeah.
She opened the letter?
No, she didn't open the letter.
She hasn't opened the letter,
she
but
just
she hands
said
it to Bear.
Bear. She's like, yeah, it's my last school or whatever. And then, yeah, she brings up the I was on your left. And then I think she basically leans in like she's going to kiss him.
Which I feel like at every moment during this, like, every moment since Bear started to get up and left the house, you're just waiting for, like, bro, Nikki's going to realize he's not there. Like, something is going to happen.
Bro, I thought that was still insane that, like, this lady, knowing good, feeling well how crazy that she currently is, was like, let me go ahead and text him and meet him in the park. Here. There's nothing going to go well.
And for a moment, you think, like, oh, shit, like, this is, I feel like, one of the brief moments of, like, you still don't know what he's going to do about Nikki, but there's almost, like, hope in the air. Like, okay, he's realizing that, like, Sarah likes him. He's willing to kind of give into it. Like, they're about to explore this connection or whatever. And then
almost immediately,
you get like a shot of Sarah. You see the window in the background.
Yes, almost immediately.
Fucking thing running.
Yeah, it's basically like the pig from Saw, like
from
just
Strangers
full running. No, I'm just thinking of like sometimes when like the pig when they wear the pig head, it's like because you just see long hair down and just full speed for like not even a half a second.
Happens so quickly,
and it just boom, like head bursts through the window. And then basically in Terrifier almost fashion,
I feel like I was not expecting this.
Nikki puts a brick on the steering wheel and just like grabs Sarah's head and just like
goes.
And supposedly,
like forever.
Supposedly the scene was supposed to be a lot longer. Yeah, it was definitely at least 12 to 15.
It's definitely overboard. Like, in a good way. Like, it's like, holy fuck.
In a good way. No, it's like, that's what I say. It's like borderline Terrifier because it was just like continuous, like, you know what it reminded me of actually? Do you remember we used to play Mortal Kombat, that one fatality with Quan Chi where he would take the leg off and he would just keep on hitting him with the leg, even though really they wouldn't get any more damage. He just like sit there and just get, like, that's what it felt like.
And it would be like the rematch main menu and he's
still
like,
hitting it. Like that.
Like Sarah was probably done on like the second or third one. And
it just like caves in her entire. You know what else it reminds me of Weapons when he headbutts the principal, headbutts him. It's like that, except with the brick, which makes a lot more sense.
And I feel like that's kind of smart, bro. You know,
and the horn honks too, right?
Yeah,
it's like
every single time.
This is the first like. I think it is so shocking because of one, how quickly it happens. Like you don't really have time to digest. Two, I think this is the first like death we see on screen.
Yes, it is the first death.
Like up to this point, we've gotten very close, and like
the cat.
We've had scary moments, or like how Nikki had the knife or whatever, or is like checking Bear. But this is the first like we just dive full in on. Okay, this is one of the 25% of the main cast just died now. That's when you realize like nothing is off limits.
And they show the aftermath of what Sarah looks like, and she looks like I don't think I'm allowed to put a picture of what she looks like after. But to give you a comparison, she looks like, and I think I can put a picture of this. She looks like the baby from Eraserhead. So you can look that up real quick to see what it looks like. And immediately, Sarah's dead. Nikki runs around the car and she's like, no, it's okay, Bear, it's okay.
Bear's just like,
she says, I'm sorry. Yes. She says, I'm sorry you had to see that, baby, but it's kind of your fault. Yeah, and she goes, it's kind of your fault. You wished for this. You have to help me hide the body. And she says, we need each other, but you're going to have to help me get rid of the body. You wished for this.
Jeez.
Which again, like like for him, Nikki is breaking character with him, basically telling him like it is because of the wish. And now his consequences have gone past Nikki and past himself. Now like he already got somebody else killed, bro.
Right. Yeah. When don't they go to the music store?
Yes. They go to the music store. They have the keys. Earlier, so very earlier in the movie when they were still at the bar, Ian drops the line that Sarah's dad has a gun in the music store. Going back to where we are now. They go to the music store, they unlock it. I guess one of them is a key holder. And maybe Sarah's a key holder, actually. And Bear's just in the fucking room, just like this, while Nikki is getting stuff, right? And they stuff Sarah's body
in a tuba case.
In a
I was
tuba
like,
case.
bro, I'm like, that's not how that works.
I think it would fit.
No, it wouldn't. The molding, it only fits that exact size.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it's like the- yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, is it a concert tuba or a
I think it was a concert tuba. It was a concert.
Was
okay.
it? I thought it was. I don't know.
I think it was a concert tuba.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a tall case.
So literally only the top part is.
Yeah, it does not. I don't think it fits.
So then, while they're at the while they're at the music store, Bear opens the letter from Luther to Sarah, and she got accepted.
Oh, that was the other heartbreaker. Just like, ah.
Yeah.
Right, we feel bad. We feel bad for Sarah. I think she's the only. Well, but
Oh,
her
actually-
and Nikki are the one. The female characters are the ones that get fucked over.
That doesn't happen at the store. Sorry, we cut to the next day, and Bear's like at one of those like make out point kind of locations, and he opens the letter there, and that's when he sees it. And then he immediately drives back to the store. He's still full of blood on his clothes, and he like makes a ruckus. Where are the one wish willows? And the employee's like, "What the fuck are you talking?"
Oh, because they're like gone now, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're not in the area. And then he's like, what did he say? He says something along the lines. Oh, well, first we get this has happened before in other tropes of, like, this is like, again, think Twilight Zone, where you think that what you had is one of those, like, out of this world experience things, because where he goes, it looks almost like it's that, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like a red box, same thing, but it's like something completely
Same shape.
different. Yeah, and he was like, what is this? And the guy's like, what are you talking about? We've never sold those ever. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, nah, man, they're right here. They're right in the front.
And they carry with pads.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Like another character kind of trolling on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much like, oh shit, what the hell? Like the universe glitched.
Yeah, and then what does Bear say? Why do you sell these? And the employee's like, the box is full of warnings, man.
Yeah.
Right? Like bro. Like basically the worker being like, yeah, I know it
And
was
he's
real.
like, and Bear says something, I forget, and the worker's like, oh, Bear tells him, the worker tells him, maybe if somebody else made a wish that would go against yours, it would cancel out. And he goes, oh, then you make the wish. I need you to do it now. He's like, no, I already used it.
Yeah.
And so, like, Bear is starting to brainstorm ideas, and the worker's voice is starting to fade out. As his voice is fading out, he drops the line, or you can kill yourself. Which makes me think, like, this worker is probably knows.
Yeah,
Like,
he's in the know.
he's in the know about what's going on. So then it's like, okay, cool. Bear tries to make another wish. He can't. The jingle whenever he opens up the thing is also different from the very first time that he opened it. He goes to Ian and he's like,
Well, yeah, he like tries to open. He tries to open the boxes and tries different ones, and he notices that you can't just crack it. Like it's almost like him struggling.
he tries to do it on the car wheel. I think.
Yeah.
It goes to Ian. Ian's saying that he's receiving texts from Sarah, basically saying like to go over or something like that.
Yeah.
To talk to you, and he's like, "No, don't come over. Don't go."
And Bear starts explaining everything that's happened, right? Like,
These are real. These are the one wish willows. And he's like, "I need you to wish that I never made a wish, and then you can be with Nikki."
right.
And that like crushes fucking Ian's little ass ego, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "I wish for $1 billion," and he crushes the fucking thing and
It's
starts
funny,
raining
it's
And
funny.
then, and then like they like forgot the song they used, but it's pretty funny. And then like you just see Bear like literally, I think he drops to his knees, and then he goes from like despair to like, you gotta be kidding me. Like his face is just like,
Because he's so desperate, begging Ian.
Yeah,
And Ian doesn't believe it. He's like, bro, this shouldn't get
and
over.
just like
literally fucking raining from
just
the
getting
sky.
like destroyed. I thought he was gonna get crushed by it. Is one of that what I thought would be the negative.
You see, in my mind, it is $1 billion. It's just not U.S. dollars. Like, it's something else, but like Monopoly money or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then we cut, and Bear gets home, and when he gets home, there's like this shrine of something. I guess their relationship. There's a bunch of burnt candles, and Nikki's in the fucking corner again, and you see her scurry.
I forgot
And
about
she's-
this part.
Mm-hmm.
She like comes out and she's wearing the dress that Sarah was wearing.
There's more to it.
Yeah.
We get a shot of Sarah's dead, naked corpse in the dining area. And Nikki comes out, and she's not only wearing Sarah's clothes, she drew Sarah's tattoos on herself. And she scalped Sarah and is wearing her hair. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, do you like me now?" And she gets a brick and she smashes her eye with it, and she's like, "I look more like her," and she's puffing cigarettes and stuff. And she's like, and somebody compared this next portion to like Deadite behavior. I think it was Chelsea Rebecca from Dead Meat, actually, to Deadite behavior, and I 100% agree, because this entire time Nikki has a firearm and she's pointing it at herself, and she says, "I'll rip my eyes out of my fucking skull and shove the barrel in my fucking and I'm like, what the fuck? And then Ian
is knocking. Well, no, he's knocking on the door this whole time. Like, so while this scene is like, like this is obviously where we're at. Is like
she screams this. By the way,
this is the crescendo.
This is the climax.
Yeah, like basically this is culminated to this. And so like, which again, the red flag of like just her violent behavior just escalating to now it's like, I mean, you can only go so much further, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, as they're doing this whole scene, you hear Ian in the background knocking on the duct tape door, and then eventually he opens the door and he's like, "Hey man, this really was $1 billion," and without even phasing, she just like doesn't like, she just turns and just gets him right in the forehead, and then turns back. And then what does she say? She drops another line after she takes him out. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know she vomits in his face right here.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, what?
Mm-hmm. And then she apologizes. She's like, no, I'm sorry. It's okay. And she lays next to him on the couch.
Yeah.
And she starts like petting him, right? Like caressing his head.
Which he's like fully checked out at this point.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Can I go to the restroom?"
Something like that.
And then he like goes to the restroom.
on the door. And he takes the firearm.
Yes.
And she's like banging on the door on the other side. She's like, I just need a little space. I just need time to go to the restroom.
Doesn't he get close to like
so basically he gets close to
he gets close to a lot of things. So while we'll talk about what Bear's doing, but I want to just talk about what Nikki is saying.
Yeah.
So Nikki is basically saying like, XYZ, get out of here and love me. And she goes, actually, I think we should break up. I think we need some space from each other. If that's what you want. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Just like going through all the...
Yes, and then while that's going on, we have Bear contemplating ending his own life.
Yeah, and you know what was crazy was like, this is another directorial, like, I wouldn't say, because it's obviously not comedic, because of the obviously what's happening, the subtext, but the way the director plays this up, he like plays this very solemn music of like, this could be how it ends. And like, I think he like eventually gets the firearm and potentially gets very close. But
he does.
Then he just like second guesses and like, no. He like even shakes that, no, I'm not doing that. And like the music just cuts. It's just like, zoop, like record cut. And then he like was like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? He's like literally like, okay, I have to do something else. And then that's when
he opens up the cabinet.
Oh, sorry. Which very much plays into like just this idea that he doesn't have any confidence. Like, even this one thing that would have freed Nikki, he can't do because he just isn't that guy. Yeah. Like, he just doesn't have it in him. He can't make any fucking decisions or anything.
Exactly. Like, he gets the same pills that Sandy had eaten. He takes everything that's left over. He's in the tub. And I think more music is playing at this point.
And then it does it again where, like, you plays it up like, okay, this is how it's over. And then you hear the clink. And the crack, and
right before he does that, he tries to make himself vomit.
Oh, vomit!
Yeah, he's trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
And then you hear the one wish willow, and then you hear the click.
Which I don't know where it came from.
He had them in his backpack. He had like.
Oh, he bought
a bunch of them. And I think that's the first thing he drops when he gets home.
Because Nikki never made her wish.
Exactly. Yeah. So then he goes ahead, and now he's in a trance. Right. The wish. Is we never know what Nikki's wish is, but it's you can infer that it's, I wish Bear loved me as much as I love him.
Yeah.
Right.
So that both of them, they like, kind of embrace, they're staring at each other until he eventually collapses from overdosing.
Oh, he does die, right?
Which is like I almost think like a not so subtle nod to like Romeo and Juliet, but like the opposite. Okay, so originally that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. So originally,
well, we'll talk about what ending we got, and then we'll go back to what you're saying. So Bear is dying and eventually does die in Nikki's arms, and she's stroking his head, and then she like is crying, and then snaps out of
Right,
it.
and there's the music thing again. They play up the music, and then
She does snap out of it. I forgot this happened because I haven't seen it a second time. I forgot this happened because then she like.
I was like, this entire like whole 15-minute scene, like this whole sequence of these scenes, he does that so many times where like the music plays up, like this is it, and then zoop, and then all right, now we're gonna. It's not the end, and then like, and I'm like, I just thought that was very creative directorial choice because it does play up the whole like sets it up like it's the end and it's not the end.
Yeah. So then she snaps out of it. She starts screaming and then goes into wail crying.
Because all her
and the
friends are around her.
Yeah. The camera. She has the memories of everything that happened. The camera then pans down until we get a glimpse of the TV, which is showing footage that Nikki recorded of Bear while he was sleeping, and then. As the credits are rolling, we still hear her cry.
And we get the song, the dee 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 dee.
Yeah. I didn't know she had... I mean, it makes sense that she remembers all of that. Yeah. It's just one of those, like... It's not even a... It can't even be a happy ending because of what has happened. Like, she is free, but... She's not really free. She's like forever traumatized by everything.
Well, that and now technically criminal, but
right. So then in the original ending, we'll go ahead and say what that was. The original ending was gonna have Nikki end her own life with the firearm.
After
after Bear dies.
Mm-hmm. But I think what do you say? He had like his focus group, and they had decided it probably made more sense for her to be free of it, even if she doesn't get a happy ending. At least. There's that. She technically gets
autonomy. Which in a weird way, like, it's less abrasive to the audience. Like, it's not as in your face, but it's almost... I don't want to say worse, but, like, she's still not okay. Like, she's still in a lot of trouble and has to deal with this. Like, there is no happy ending. There's a little bit of, like, well, at least she's free. But,
I didn't know. You know what someone said this was the wildest take or comment? I got this. Somebody was like, you think the dad showed up to work and was like, bro, where are all my workers at? Like, bro, like, he's just like... What the heck?
Why didn't they put the tube in the case?
Why did they get the tube? No, I thought that definitely this entire sequence was definitely very uncomfortable, but I think, again, with the music and the whole, like, swerve every 10 seconds about subverting what you think is going to happen, I think plays up into, again, like that comedic kind of like him trying to still make it somewhat light, even those very dark themes. I think this is where definitely I think that would be my only knock at times in the movie, although I think it is needed. It very much is needed because this movie could have been very dark and like the entire time in a very even worse way. But I almost feel like there were moments where it was like, okay, I think it was a little too comedic in some scenes. Obviously the ending not as much, but because it definitely needed some like alleviation of some of that because it was very heavy material. But I think that was my only knock. I think for some of the front half of the movie was just some of the comedic things that took away from what could have been more creepy or I guess more like hard-hitting parts, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But that was Obsession.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We would really appreciate it. We are going to take our mid-season break, so we'll be back late August, early September. Haven't decided yet. But until then, y'all have a good day.